Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into the intriguing and sometimes challenging world of spiritual awakenings. Have you ever felt like you're on the brink of a major personal transformation, but also faced unexpected hurdles along the way? Well, you're not alone. Before we get into the heart of today's topic, if you're curious about journeys of personal growth and spiritual enlightenment, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell so you won't miss any enlightening content. Let's explore the profound changes and the darker sides of spiritual awakenings that no one talks about. Number 1. Isolation. When you start seeing the world differently because of a spiritual awakening, you might feel on a different wavelength from everyone else. Imagine going to a party where everyone speaks a language you no longer understand. This can make you feel lonely, as if you're the only one who sees the world this way. You might want to share all these exciting discoveries with your friends and family, but they might not get it or think it's as important as you do. This can make you feel isolated, as if alone on an island. It's like having a secret you're bursting to share, but you're not sure anyone else will understand. This part of the journey can be tricky, but it's just one step on a longer path to better understanding yourself and the world around you. Number 2. Emotional volatility. When you're going through a spiritual awakening, it's like suddenly all your emotions have been turned up to maximum volume. 1 minute, you might feel super happy and grateful for everything. The next, you might feel sad or angry for no apparent reason. It's like being on an emotional roller coaster without a seatbelt. This happens because you're digging up old feelings and thoughts buried deep inside you, like finding old toys in your attic that you forgot were there. These emotions emerge because you're starting to see things differently, and your heart and mind are adjusting to this new way of seeing the world. It can be a wild ride, but it's all part of cleaning out the old to make room for the new you. Number 3. Dissolution of identity. Going through a spiritual awakening can feel like taking apart a puzzle you've been assembling your whole life. Suddenly, the pieces, like your hobbies, beliefs, and even what you think about yourself, might not seem to fit the way they used to. It's like looking in the mirror and not recognizing the person staring back at you. This can be scary because it feels like you're losing yourself. But really, it's about shedding the parts of yourself that don't match up with your true self anymore. It's as if you're shedding old skin to make way for the new. Just like when the snake sheds its skin, it's not losing itself, it's growing. This part of spiritual awakening is about letting go of the old versions of you that don't fit anymore, making space for who you're becoming. It's a significant change, but it leads to discovering more about who you are. Number 4. Physical symptoms. When you're going through a spiritual awakening, your body might start acting weirdly. It's like your body is trying to keep up with all the new things your mind is learning. You might find yourself super energetic one day and totally wiped out the next, or your sleep pattern goes haywire. It's like when your computer starts acting up because it's running a big update. These physical changes can be confusing and sometimes uncomfortable. Still, they're just signs that you're going through a big inner change. Your body is adjusting to your new spiritual insights and emotions, just like it would adapt to moving to a new place or starting a new workout routine. It's important to listen to your body during this time, give it the care it needs, and remember that this phase is just part of the journey to a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. Number 5. Existential crisis. When you dive deep into a spiritual awakening, you might start asking some really big questions like, what's the meaning of life? Or why are we here? It's like your mind has opened a giant book filled with questions instead of answers. This can lead to an existential crisis where you feel like you're floating in space, untethered from everything you used to believe in. It's like realizing you've been living in a small pond and suddenly finding yourself in the middle of an ocean. This feeling can be unsettling because everything you thought was solid and certain seems up for grabs. But it's also an opportunity to explore and find your own answers to these big questions. Think of it as going on a treasure hunt, where the treasure is a deeper, more personal understanding of life and your place in it. It's a challenging part of the journey, but also where some of the most profound growth happens. Number 6, overwhelmed by negativity. During a spiritual awakening, you may feel everything more deeply, including the sadness and pain in the world. Your emotional antenna has been turned up to catch every frequency, including channels you wish to skip. Suddenly, you're aware of all the negativity, suffering, and unfairness around you and the wider world. It's like walking into a room where the TV is too loud, playing a really sad movie. You can't ignore it, and it affects you deeply. This increased sensitivity can make you feel heavy and overwhelmed, as if you're carrying a backpack full of rocks you can't put down. It's a challenging part of the spiritual journey because it confronts you with the reality of pain, not just in your own life, but everywhere. The key here is learning how to balance this awareness with actions or thoughts that bring light, both to your own heart and to others, without carrying all the world's weight on your shoulders. Number 7, spiritual bypassing. When you're going through a spiritual awakening, there's something called spiritual bypassing that can sneak up on you. It's like trying to take a shortcut on a really important journey. Instead of walking through the challenging parts of the forest, you try to fly over them with a helicopter. This means using all the good vibes, meditation, and spiritual beliefs to avoid dealing with messy stuff like hurt feelings, difficult emotions, or problems that need your attention. It's like putting a pretty band-aid on a wound without cleaning it out first. It looks nice from the outside, but the wound can't heal properly. This happens because it's easier to focus on feeling spiritually high than facing the hard stuff. But just like skipping steps in a recipe can mess up a cake, skipping over personal challenges can keep you from truly growing. The real magic happens when you're brave enough to walk through the forest, facing the tough stuff head on, with spirituality as a guide rather than an escape route. That's how you get to the profound healing and growth on the other side. Number 8, difficulty grounding in reality. When you're going through a spiritual awakening, it can sometimes feel like you're living in two worlds simultaneously. On the one hand, you have these fantastic deep insights about life and the universe. On the other hand, you still have to deal with everyday stuff like bills, jobs, and groceries. It's like being a superhero who can see into another dimension but still has to do their laundry. This balancing act can be tricky because the spiritual stuff feels so big and important, making the daily tasks seem less significant or even like a distraction. It's as if you're floating in the clouds with your newfound understanding and then suddenly have to come down to earth to take out the trash. Finding a way to stay grounded and connected to the ordinary parts of life while also exploring these new spiritual heights is one of the challenges of awakening. It's about learning how to weave these profound insights into the fabric of everyday life, making the mundane meaningful. Number 9, reevaluation of relationships. As you journey through a spiritual awakening, how you connect with people might change, like updating your favorite playlist. You're changing and growing, and you may find that the tunes or people that used to fit perfectly with your vibe don't resonate the same way anymore. It's not that there's anything wrong with these old favorites, it's just that your tastes are evolving. This can lead to a reshuffling of your social circle. Friends or family members who used to be your go-to for everything might not understand your new journey or share your new interests. You might find yourself drawn to new people who are on a similar path or who encourage your growth. It's like moving to a new school where you start making friends who get the new you. This part of the process can feel lonely or sad because letting go is hard, even when moving towards something good. But it's also a chance to meet people who match the person you're becoming, helping you grow even more. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the complexities of spiritual awakenings. It's a journey filled with incredible highs and challenging lows, but understanding these aspects can make the path forward a bit clearer. If today's video resonated with you, or if you've experienced any of these awakening signs yourself, we'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Remember to like this video if you found it insightful, and subscribe to our channel for more content. Sharing this video with friends or on social media can help others navigate their spiritual journey. Remember, you're not alone on this path to self-discovery. Until next time, keep exploring, growing, and transforming. Peace and love to all of you.